Okay, Chav base, the bottom line. And the Gemara is talking about cases of a shliach making a shliach. And the last case we spoke about, when in Chutzlaris that they have to say Fanei Nechta, so the shliach has to make the second shliach in Bezdin. In order to be able to say Fanei Nechta, you have to have this Kabbalah's. And then the Bezdin makes a shliach. And the Gemara just finished saying before, question what the version was, but it could be a second, it could be a third shliach and a fourth shliach and a fifth shliach, and each one has to be made in front of Bezdin. In order that last this week, yeah, that's how we recapping. And each one, and the last one should be able to say shliach Bezdin on the bottom line. And the Gemara did talk about this case that he didn't make him a shliach until 30 days. Is he called a nitan legerishin? And the Gemara says yes, since he's authorized after 30 days, it's called a shliach legerishin, and he could make a shliach. Amar Rava, bottom line. How about the kami boilam? This question we do have to still ask. Top line on Lamed Amar Aleph. Ki mashvi bezdin, ki mashvu bezdin shliach, b'fanav shalom b'fanav. When Bezdin makes a shliach, does it have to be in front of the first shliach? Bezdin's making that the Mishnah said you have to make a shliach. It's the first Bezdin makes this first shliach makes the second. The first shliach tells Bezdin, and now the Bezdin makes a shliach, and that can happen many times. Again, the second shliach can make a third shliach. Every time the Bezdin makes a shliach, does it have to be in the presence of the first shliach? Thank you. Does that have to be in the prayer? The Gemara doesn't explain the question. One of the things doesn't. You do need a bezdin, but you need a shliach. Does the shliach say to the bezdin, and then the bezdin makes another shliach when they want to, and the first shliach doesn't have to be there, or it has to be in front of the first shliach. And the Gemara says you don't need it. Other answer, then he himself answered the question. Even if it's not in the presence of the first shliach, they also sent from Eretz Yisrael the same thing. You don't need the shliach to be there. So I just was thinking what might be the possible question. What was the question? What was the question of do you have to be in front of the shliach? So I thought that it's true that the bezdin, he says in front of the bezdin, but who is the bezdin authority to make a shliach to give a get? It has to be the husband. It has to be the husband who is authorizing the get. So if the first shliach just says to the bezdin, so it's very nice that they can send the shliach to say that it was told before it's b'fanei nechta, but who are they to make shliach to give a get? They can't be the not the husband. So that's why the Gemara thinks maybe you need the first shliach to be there. It means the shliach will be the one to make the next shliach a shliach. You have to have two things going on. One is you need a shliach to give the get. One is you need b'fanei nechta. But in b'fanei nechta, you need that it should be in the skavel and the bezdin. But to make the shliach to give on the get, you need the shliach, original shliach to make another shliach. So maybe you have to have a fanav. And the Gemara says you don't. What's the Gemara's answer going to be? I'm just speculating that the Gemara's answer might be that the shliach makes the bezdin a shliach. It means the shliach says to the fanav, and you could be a shliach. Now you can make another shliach if you want to. They don't have to go themselves. But the reason why you shouldn't have to have the first shliach present by the appointment of the next shliach is because the bezdin themselves was a second shliach. And now they are authorized to make another shliach. But it has to be coming mikoach the husband.
Even though Rashi doesn't say that.
Rashi just says, I don't think Rashi. Rashi just says yes or no. And the Rashi says no. It doesn't say, I didn't see in Rashi that he says any sport. He just says the yes or no.
Right.
So he doesn't say. Rashi doesn't say.
He raises the question.
That's what the Gemara says already. So Rashi didn't help us over here. He didn't say more than the Gemara says.
But Mashma that it's only we're talking about the first shliach being there to appoint the second shliach. So the only question is Bezdin considered a second shliach?
So that's what I added on. Rashi doesn't say. The Gemara doesn't say. Okay, the Gemara continues. Third line. He had this one a long time ago in Ksubis. Somebody gave a get, and he said a condition. It's only a get if I don't come back within 30 days. If I come within 30 days, it should be. If I come back within 30 days, it should not be a get. If I don't come within 30 days, then it should be a get. Also, he came, but Paskin Mavra. that there was a river in between. He wasn't able to cross the river. The ferry didn't come. So he's screaming, "But that is Amalu, Chazud Asay, Chazud Asay." See, I came. I'm a Shmuel Oshem Maseh. That's not called coming. It means you're not on this side. You have to be on this side of the river. He did this in Ksubas. Long time.
And it could be even that the woman didn't want to get. Why? It didn't be. It doesn't make difference. She wants or not. It could be she loves him and she's a and then he's a kayan. It makes no difference. I'm saying it's not because she has a schus to have the get, right? I'm just saying the charetz.
This is usually called the sugya of ish onos begittin and onos begittin. This is usually called the sugya, but Chavusa pointed out that Shmuel didn't. That wasn't Shmuel's point. Shmuel's point was that it's not called that he come. He didn't come. That's not called coming. Coming on the other side of the river is not called coming. He's not here. So if he's not here, so the Tanai was fulfilled that he didn't come for 30 days. So it's a get. Not if going to get the warrant. Subis goes into a question, but it was an onus. Means that the reason why he couldn't fulfill the Tanai is because it wasn't his fault. He really wanted to. He wanted that the Tanai should not be fulfilled. He wanted that he should go back within 30 days. But the onus happened that the ferry didn't come across. So that wasn't Shmuel's main point. Shmuel, you see, maybe on the side, Agav, you see Shmuel holds that that's not a reason that to say it wasn't his fault. So the Tanai, we look at it, we don't look at it as if the Tanai was fulfilled because only was fulfilled the onus. So that's the Gemara's issue. You say Yesh onus begittin, Ein onus begittin, and Rashi points out that the Gemara talks about that in Ksubas. If I touch the screen, it makes okay. I'll try not to, but it's hard to move around without this thing doesn't move around so much. But then I touch the screen, it does affect it. If I touch the screen, that's what makes it. Rashi says, "Lo shmei masid lo mati yadacha." He didn't get here. He's on the other side of the river. It's not called here. Now, ein tanis onus b'tanai gittin, meiman nisna, inami yesh onus b'gittin, and that's what the Gemara Ksubas talks about. So, what Shmuel's talking about, if Shmuel's main point was to say that he didn't get here, so he's not considered here. The Tanai was fulfilled, not as an issue, but it was the onus. He wanted to come, so that's the sugya in Ksubas, which we're gonna have mention of in a couple of minutes here also. Okay, the end of that Gemara. What?
Is the halacha like Shmuel?
Yes, it says Lo Shmei Masya. That's not called. If he's on the other side of the river, he's not here. New Gemara. Ahud Amalahu. He gave a get, and he said, if I don't appease her within 30 days, it should be a get. He's had a fight, whatever the case was, and he's giving a get. But if he calms down and he's going to be a fighter, he'll appease her within 30 days, then it should not be a get. Also, Paisa, he tried to appease her within 30 days. He wanted that it shouldn't be a get. But Loi Faisa, she didn't accept her appeasement. So it came 30 days and she wasn't appeased. I'm Rav Yosef. So what do you want to say? That the get? What do you want to say? What?
I said the diamond ring wasn't big enough.
So the Tanai was fulfilled. The Tanai was fulfilled that he wasn't Befias. He didn't appease her. So the get is a good get. Rav Yosef, Yov Latakiva the Dinri below Ifaisa. Did he give her a lot of money? A takiva is 3 kav. 3 kav of Dinri. Did he give her a sack of money and she wasn't appeased? That means.
Why are you learning like that? I learned the Gemara differently. He tried to mufayis, so the get shouldn't be chal. So the Gemara is saying that no, he didn't try enough. So the get is chal.
You're right, but I just read the word so far with the translation. And now the question is that why do we care if she was mufayis or not? Why do we care how much he tried? Here the Gemara is talking about if he tried or not. The words of the Gemara is, did he give her taka of the dinner and she was not appeased?
Didn't do enough.
Ikad Amri, Amri Rav Yosef, Midi Takava the Dinri Boiler Mesavla, a Paisa, Faisa. One of the version says that he didn't give her a tak of the Dinri, so that means that he didn't appease her. So it is a good get. The second day, so that's called that he didn't appease her.
Right. He wasn't successful because he didn't do enough. He could have, but he didn't.
That's the first. I'll just read the translation and then we'll expound. The first lesson says that he didn't give her enough that she should have been appeased. So this is called that she wasn't appeased. Ikadam Yom Rav Yosef, Midi talk about the Dimi Boilam Esav law. Does he have to give her so much money? That's called appeased. He tried and she didn't get a piece. So that's called that he did appease her. So those are the two Lashonas of the Gemara. If he appeased her, if that's called that he appeased her or he didn't appease her.
Okay, I want to understand.
Is that
something.
called so
Trying is not complicated.
So Moshe is asking a question. What's the difference if he this is that? What's the question of the Gemara? He didn't. She didn't get appeased, and the question was, is she going to get appeased?
Right.
So Taisus, because of this kasha, says what Avrohom said, that the point was, if I'm going to try to appease her, even though the words might have been read, was he mafayis her or not, and that means was she appeased? And she wasn't appeased. No matter how you're going to look at it, she wasn't appeased. But the Gemara of Yosef's two Lashonos are saying, is that called that he did his best? According to the first Lashon, that's called that he didn't do what he could do. And the second Lashon said that he did do what he could do.
And if he did what he could do, even though she wasn't appeased, it wouldn't be a
Because
gift,
the
right?
issue, because Taisus is Mechadish, that one of the Tanai, even though he said to be advisor, it doesn't mean if she's going to accept it, it means if he's going to go all out. The one Lashon says he went all out, the Lashon says he didn't go all out.
This guy would be lucky, just divorce him. This is like crazy. What are you trying your whole life?
Oh, come on. And the Gemara says that we understand. And the Gemara says what these two Lashonos are totally in. If the reason that he didn't fulfill the conditions is because he couldn't, is that considered a fulfillment of the Tanai? Means if he would have had so much money, he would have given it to her. The reason he didn't, because he doesn't have the money. That's called the onus. So is that considered that the Tanai was fulfilled or not? That's a machlokas in the Gemara. Similar to before. If you talk about the river, he couldn't come across the river because there was no ferry. So on one hand, you might say that the condition wasn't fulfilled. The condition was that he shouldn't come, but the reason why he didn't come is because he couldn't come. So maybe that's the reason why it should not be again. That's machlokas. Here, everybody agrees that he couldn't. It was onus that he didn't give her more money. If he would have given her more money, she would have been appeased. It means that, follow differently. We're not talking about if she would have been appeased. The way Taisus explains that that would have been called that he did all he could. All he could, you see in the Gemara, it's still called an onus. Even if he couldn't because he didn't have. But that's an onus. There's more that he could have done theoretically. So that's going into the subject of Yeshonis Begittin and Onus Begittin. If you have Yeshonis Begittin, that means that if the reason why he didn't do more is because he couldn't, that's not called a fulfillment of the condition. So it's not a gift. If you hold Ein Onus Begittin, so no excuses. The condition, he didn't give her more money, even though he couldn't. No complaints against him, but you want to say that you would have given her to be Mephiser. To be Mephiser means with a lot of money. And you don't have the money, what can we do? But the Maisa, the condition was fulfilled that you didn't go all out. Adkan, the Gemara. And the onus we did, the Gemara only brings down, the story doesn't bring down the issue of onus begittin in the first story of the ferry, but the Gemara Ksubas does bring it down over there. Also, same issue should apply over there, but in onus begittin, yesh onus begittin. It's interesting that the whole thing of onus begittin is 2 lines over here. In Ksubas seems to be more of an issue, and the Mesechus Gittin, where we'd expect it to be, it's only these few lines.
So how do you possible that if he tried and he can't, then that's it? Then
Ein onus begittin means there's no excuse that even if he tried, if the Maisa, the condition was fulfilled, then it's a get, the get is a get.
Yeah.
The rest, today's
he's
sugya,
lucky. The guy's lucky.
it depends.
Not the best, lucky. Doesn't sound like a good stuff anyway.
Okay. If it gets off, please tell me. I can't
I don't
catch
think
it.
it's not helping. It's something that jumps back by
Oh, no.
itself. It doesn't-
Okay. Today's Gemara is not doing gittin. The rest of the Gemara comes in not doing gittin. It's just coming agav because we spoke about a cheskas chaim a couple of pages ago that if we don't know if he's alive, so we say status quo, and status quo not only got to be living, like other status quos also. So we're going off on a tangent about chazaka. Mishnah. Amal Moses a kohen v'salevi v'sani. Yes, mafish alein mechalkan. A malva wants to lend money. A kohen, a levi or ani, they want to borrow money, and the lender is willing to lend them the money and to deduct it from the chumas and maestros that they're supposed to get. It means that I have a field, the owner, the balabais here has a field, and he's mafish chumas and maestros. So he says to the kohen, I'll lend you $1,000, and you owe me back $1,000. I'll take the $1,000 from this year's crop of Trumas and Maaseh. Trumas and Maaseh comes out approximately $1,000 for the year. So I'm going to take that as payment. That was the agreement they made. You don't have to pay me back. I'm going to take it off of the Trumas and Maaseh. So it says you can do that. It says the Kohen for the Truma, maybe for the Maaseh Rishon, only for the Maaseh Ani. So I'll lend you the money and I'll take it off. I'll deduct it from the Trumas and Maaseh, which is coming to you. I'll take it. So you're allowed to do that. Oh, the question is maybe they died. The guy's not around here. So maybe, how does it work? That it's as if I gave the Truma to the Kohen, and then he gave it back to me for payment for the loan. But that's only if he's alive. If he dies, so then I can't give Trumas and Maaseh to a dead Kohen. So how would I be able to take it for payment? I have to assume that he's alive. You're allowed to assume that he's alive.
How can
I take Trumas and Maaseh as payment if the Kohen died? So I can't give him Trumas and Maaseh. The case again, I lend the Kohen money. And
you lent the
I lent the Kohen money. He owes me $1,000, and I'll say I'll take the $1,000 from Trumas and Maaseh that I will give you. I'm not going to physically give it to you. I'll give it.
Well,
As
he's
if I
going to
gave
take
it
off
to
the
you.
Trumas and Maaseh anyway.
He's take it off, and then I'm going to keep it. It's going to become my Trumas and Maaseh because it's going to be payment. You do it, pay me back, as if you paid me back Truma or Maaseh for the money that you owe me. They're allowed to do that. But the question is only if he's alive. If he's not alive, so then I can't. Kilo I gave him Trumas and Maaseh because he's not alive. So you're allowed to assume that he's alive. You're not choshesh that they died. You're also not choshesh that the poor person became rich. I only can give him Ma'aser Rani if he's poor. So then I could have lent him the money, and I said that the Ma'aser Rani, which you're eligible for, is as if I gave it to you when it's going to grow. It's as if I gave it to you. We'll see in the Gemara how does it work as if, but it's as if I gave it to you, and then I took it back for the payment. That's only as long as he's poor, alive and poor. But if he's dead, or if he's alive and rich, he's not eligible for Ma'aser Rani. So how could I keep on taking the Ma'aser Rani as payment? Maybe he got rich. You're not choshesh he became rich. You're not choshesh that he died. You're not choshesh that he became rich. He keeps status quo.
The kids are chazak.
Is that good? Yeah. You happy with that? You don't look happy.
Mhm.
You don't look so happy.
Because I don't know if I got the case or not. A regular guy is lending money to a Kohen.
Yeah, let's talk about Levi. Just to get rid of the Truma part.
A
Ma'aser.
lady.
I take off
okay,
Ma'aser.
and he's going to get, and the Meiser he's going to get. The Trumas Meiser? What are we talking about?
Ma'aser Rishon goes to the Levi. Let's make it the easiest case to the Ani. Ma'aser Ani. You lent money to an Ani, and you have a fee.
Anybody.
You right. Anybody lent money to an Ani, $1,000, and the Ani owes him back $1,000. So I tell you a deal. Don't pay me back $1,000. I don't have to see you anymore. I have a field, and I'm going to take off tithing. I'll take off the Ma'aser Ani, and I'm going to keep them, and I'll keep the Ma'aser Ani as payment, as if I gave it to you,
As if I gave it to
and
you.
I'll take it back.
That would be today a similar question. I lend on $1,000, and I say I make $1,000 a month. I hold my cert $100 a month. So instead of giving me back the $1,000 for the next 10 months, I'm going to give you my nice money. I'm going to be mafresh and take it back for myself.
But
It
in
could be
terms of
happen today.
In terms of the Cohen, what happens? In other words,
Same
he
thing.
owns it, he's gonna have to sell it to somebody else.
I got Truma. Truma's worth money. I can go to the market and I can go to the market and sell Truma. The Cohen gave Truma back as a payment. I lent money
No,
to
I
the
thought you
Cohen,
lent to the Cohen.
and the Cohen
So
pays
now-
me back the Truma, and I give Truma to the
No, I
Cohen.
thought
I don't know
that's
if you
my
guys
field,
agree
and I'm
on
gonna
that.
have Truma, it's
And
gonna
you're gonna
equal
give-
$1,000.
You're going to give it to the Cohen.
Definitely
You give it to the
makes sense.
Cohen, as if you give it to the Cohen.
As if I gave it
And
to
you
the
take it
Cohen.
back. And it's worth money to you. What I can do with Truma, you're not allowed to eat it. So you go to the market and sell it. You have $1,000 worth of Truma. You go
Okay,
to sell
so
it.
what? And so if he died, then what?
If he died, then you can't give Truma to a Kohen who died. You can't give Ma'aser Rani to a Ani that died either. This only works as long as the guy's alive. If the guy died, so then you can't give him Ma'aser. You didn't give them Ma'aser now. It's going to grow. It didn't grow yet. The season is coming. When it's going to grow, I'm going to take off Ma'aser and I'm going to give it Kila, give it to you. Then I'm going to take it back for the payment. That's only if the guy's alive. If the guy's not alive, so I can't give Truma to a Kohen who's dead. I can't give Ma'aser to a Levi who's dead. I can't give Ma'aser Ani to Ani who's dead. So it wouldn't work. It only is good because I could assume that he's still alive.
It wouldn't work, and it would mean what?
That his debt is not paid. He can't take it off his Ma'aser. He has
Now
to give
His
Truma.
Yorshim will owe him the money.
Yeah, but yes, he's owed, but he can't take it from the Truma because
He can't.
he didn't give
I
the Truma to a
It didn't
Kohen.
work, meaning he can't nullify the loan through this.
Right, because he can't do true to a dead Cohen. If he found out that the Cohen died. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Now, and just was discussing.
That's not the document.
You have to, does the ani have to agree to this term that you're taking off the nice ani?
Yes, if he doesn't agree, he doesn't get the loan.
No, meaning to say, could I have in mind that the ani thinks he's gonna pay it back, but the nice, I know he's not gonna pay it back.
I don't know who else. So far, the case is that he agrees. And let's see some more. I'm not sure. Let's see. After the reasons, maybe we could see more about that. But so far, it doesn't say. Now, how about if he really died? He did die. Okay, yeah, but Cheskas Chazak, he did not die. But then he found out that he died. So could you continue taking these payments from the Trumas and Maestros? No. So he has to get Rishus from the Yorshim. Means the Yorish of a Kohen is a Kohen. The Yorish of a Levi is a Levi. The Yorish of Ani, if he's an Ani, if the Yorish happens to be an Ani, so then I have to ask the Yoshim, are you willing to
Nullify the loan in this.
continue paying back the loan of your father with
Through
Trumas and Maestros that I will give you, I'll give it to you, and the order you should pay back the loan of your father. So he has to ask them.
Well, why would they want to, wouldn't they? It's not
They
gonna be cash.
could want to, but they didn't agree to the deal, so they have to agree to the
They
deal.
have to, okay.
If the halva, the first halva to the Kohen Levi Ani was in front of Bezdin, so then Bezdin takes over and they represent the whole Shevet of Kohanim or the Shevet of Leviim or the community of the Aniyim, and they say that we accept it for the Kohanim, Leviim, for the Aniyim, and we are paying back his loan. Why are they doing it on the cheshbon of the rest of the Kohanim, Leviim, and Aniyim? Because Rashi says that everyone's happy. That people are the Kohanim are happy to be able to have the system that they should be able to get a loan on the cheshbon of deducting it from the Trumas and Maestros. And therefore, they all agree that in case one of us is we do this kind of deal and we die, so the Bezdin should be able to take it off the cheshbon of the Shevet of all the Kohanim in order to pay back the loan of the Kohen who died, or the Levi that died, or the Ani that died. It's good for the whole community. The community means their community, their people, their body of people.
Ultimately,
That's for their society. Good for the whole. So therefore, they're happy to do it. So it's called Akatanis Bezdin because it's good for everybody. They're happy for it. They're happy to do it.
And the guy just continues to take the Trumas.
Right, even though they're not able to get the Trumas and Maestros, which you would have given out to everybody else, they're going to lose that. But they're happy that they should be able to have this system in a way they'll be able to borrow money also on this kind of agreement. So the obvious question is, I said the whole time, it's as if it was given. The Trumas and Maestros said it was as if it was given to the Kohen, Levi, and the Ani. How do you do that? That's very magical words, as if. It didn't come. If you would give it to the Kohen and he gives it back to you, very nice. But he's not here. You're not giving it to him. So how can you, as if you gave it to him? That's the most kasha. Who makes a kinyan?
The borrower should have to make a kinyan.
And he's not here, and it works even though he doesn't. That's the most kasha. Even though it didn't come to the hands of the Kohen, Levi, and Ani. So how could you consider it as if it's his and give it back to you? So three what's over here, Rav Shmuel and Ula. I'm a Rav Makori Kuna Lavia. It's a talking about if the Kohen and Levi are the Makori Kuna, that means that he's a recognized one. It's his acquaintance. It's the one who usually gives it to. Since he usually gives it to him, well, that automatically works. How does it automatically work? So Rashi says that all the other Kohen and Leviim, they have no chance. They don't think about getting it because he always gives it to his good friend, the Kohen and Levi. So everybody else is Mashiach Das, they're not going to get it. And for some reason, that's enough. That makes it already that it's in the Rishus of the Kohen that he usually gives it to. How does it work? Rashi doesn't say. Rashi just says that everybody else is Mashiach Das. Everybody else withdraws. So, like he's the only one who's eligible to get it. So automatically he gets it. How does it work? I don't know.
I didn't understand the kasha about it.
What?
I didn't understand the kasha about it.
Why not?
I thought it means that he didn't make a kinyan on it.
Yeah, it didn't.
But this is not kinyan. Just because everybody's Mashiach.
It's just.
So therefore, you don't know the answer. If the question is that someone has to make a kinyan, the answer is Makari Kuna, and the kasha was, and what is the answer?
Right.
The kasha is good. The answer is difficult. How does Makari Kuna make that the kinyan goes automatically to this Kohen? It's as if everybody else withdraws. If everybody else, let's say there's only one Kohen in the world. So you wouldn't have to make a kinyan. It automatically belongs to him. Maybe that's the answer. But if there's only one Kohen in the world, So it automatically goes to him because nobody else to go to. Maybe only if they have two kohanim. So then who's going to get it? You have to make a kinyan. But if not, maybe it works without a kinyan. I don't know. But Rashi says everybody else withdraws.
Makori is it's a sale.
Makori is acquaintance, like makir, not na'im lahakir. To
Makori,
recognize.
you recognize. He
Right, so he's an acquaintance. He's a Kohen labor that they always recognize him. Means he's his good friend.
Since it always goes to him, it's
So
as
all-
if it was assumed that he would have made a hazaka or something.
So those was no assumed like chazaka. It's assumed that he's the one who's going to get it, and everybody else forgets about it. All the other Kohen Levim say, this person, he's not going to give it to us. He always gives it to his good friend, so he's not going to come to us. So they withdraw. And what if they withdraw? So that's all Rashi says. They withdrew. So you have to understand what the answer is now.
That's the case when the Mishnah says not going is.
After that going right, but the Gemara is going to say it's not such an easy answer. Shmuel Omar, another terrorist. You have to give it to somebody. The malver that he wants to use this as a payment, he has to go to somebody. His next door neighbor, please be zocha for this ploni Kohen that I lent money to, and it's going to belong to him. You have to make a kinyan for him,
Make a kinyan for him.
right? Like we would have thought. That's the portion of the you need a kinyan. You do need a kinyan. First terrorist is in the Makar Kuni, you don't need a kinyan. Why not? I don't know. And Shmuel's terrorist is dafka, but you have to go to somebody to make a kinyan for that particular Kohen.
So every
Maybe.
month you go to the zone and this I have to give to the Kayan, and now you be kind for the Kayan and get a take.
You're talking about in your case about the month.
Right.
You're talking about the crop, the yearly crop. You make a kinyan of the Trumas and
But here
Maasros.
we're assuming he's alive.
Yeah, he has a cheskes chaim. Yeah,
Yes, has Chaim, but he's not there.
He's not
So
there,
you'll
right.
do you.
make a kinyan for him.
Okay.
Ula Amar, Amani Rabbi Yossi. The Amar also is She'en Zocha Kazocha. There's a famous Rabbi Yossi that seems to be in other places that he makes takanas. That sometimes for the takana, so Bezdin Hefka, Bezdin Hefka, they make a takana that even though halachically, technically, there was no kinyan, the Rabbanan say is good enough. They have the power to take away from somebody, to give it, so they gave it. So Rabbi Yossi, that the Tana has no problem about kinyan. He said that Bezdin makes takanas, even though it doesn't go according to the letter of the law, the mechanics don't work. He says it's okay. Probably is based on Hefka Bezdin.
What's asu?
They made the Chachamim made that even though he doesn't officially zocha, it's as if he was zocha. They made a
So it's
exception.
kind of like the first opinion.
No, the first one is Dafka Makori Kahuna, in the case where he always is
Oh,
giving
it's
it to
only
everybody
here.
else.
This could be anybody.
Right, the Chachamim said kacha that works, even though according to the regular laws it shouldn't work.
But okay, and the last one is that
That was the
it
last
just
one
works because
because the Chacham said it works,
the
and probably it works. If the mechanics is going to be Hefka Bez and Hefka, they have the right to make kinyan. People own things even if they don't make a kinyan. They have the right of Bezdin, governments today
But
also have
that wouldn't apply if the guy died. They'd say he still needs reshus.
he died, somebody to give it to. They can't make him as if he's alive. You can't give Truma to a
Oh, you
dead
have to
Kohen.
zoche the one who's going to give it back to you. Okay.
So we have three what's in Rav, Shmuel, and Ula. How come everybody doesn't like each other's terrorists? Kula Krav Lo Amri, the Makari Lo Katani. The other Pshatim don't like to say Rav's Pshat because it doesn't say that. It says, like Avnissan pointed out, you have to say when it says Malva Moses Hako and Halevia, it means a particular one. So that doesn't say that.
The Hey idea shows it's particular one.
Okay. Kishmuel Lo Kamri, Bimazaka Lo Katani. Doesn't say that either. Doesn't say that has to be Mizaka. This Mishnah doesn't say all this. So that's why they don't want to say Shmuel's terrorists. Well, the Amri Lo Kamri, Kichidolo Makmina. We don't want to, the reason why they don't want to say Ula goes according to Rav Yossi, because we'd rather not say that the Mishnah is only going according to an individual opinion. We'd rather make it sound like everybody holds of it. So you have to say it's talking about, everyone agrees, in other words, everybody agrees to all these terutzim, but the question what the Mishnah meant. So do we say Sashino Kimta, or do we say it goes according to Adas Yachid? But any terrace would work. But everybody holds you need a terrace. Back to the subject. That the Mishnah says that it works. So a little bit more information over here. Tana Rabbanan. Hamal b'Moses according to Levi v'Sani. Not much word for word. The Mishnah. Someone lent money to a Kohen, Levi or Ani, in order with the deal to be able to separate from what's coming to them. I'll keep it as a payment. So you could do that. Yes, you could assume that they're alive. That until you find out that they died. Now it's going to tell us some more halachas that we're going to see that the more to elaborate about each one. You can make the price means yomi $1,000. How much wheat can I take? $1,000 of wheat. But what if the price fluctuates? And now it's expensive, and then later on it gets cheaper. Do I have to take the expensive price of $1,000 of wheat according to the present price, or later on, the market price is going to be cheaper? Can I make the payment is going to be according to the cheap price? I mean, I'll be able to take more wheat from my $1,000 loan. So you could do that. Posting one kashar you could make up, but I'm going to go according to the cheap price.
And you're only going to do it at the end of
at the time, right? That at the time, and that season,
And
that's the
that's
time. That's when it's cheaper.
cheaper.
So I could do that. I can make up. Rivers.
That's probably because then it's easier for him to learn. If it was expensive price, he wouldn't want to do it.
Question is if you're allowed to do it, maybe it's considered rivers. Because you're lending money now, you're going to get more for your money. Right now, the money's worth this amount of kilo, and now I'm going to get back the cheaper price. I'm going to get more for my money. Maybe that's rivers. What? What kilo then it's worth right now? So is that considered rivers?
But
So
he
it
gave
says
me money, didn't
I gave him $1,000, and he's going to give me back right.
he? He's going to give me $1,000 worth of produce.
The
at the
produce
end.
at the end, but that's more than it is now, right now.
But he's not getting now.
So
so
the Gemara is going to ask that it's cheaper. The Gemara is going to ask that. Why is it not simple? There's no issue rivers over. You could learn it all as one sentence. That even though you do sharazol, you might consider it rivers. It's not rivers. The Gemara is going to say, and Taisa seems to say, explain the Gemara that even if you do less than the sharazol, you make up even a cheaper price than it's going to be. You also
make
got
up a
to
price at the time that you give it.
right.
I'm going to give it to you, and it's going to be for 10 cents a kilo.
And
Because
that's even a big,
the
that's a big
agreement.
tradition now, so agreement, but it's called rivers. That's the question is that it's called rivers. That I'm lending you $1,000 and getting more for $1,000 because you're making a crazy price that doesn't exist in the market. So I'm getting more than $1,000 payment back. So I'm going to explain all that.
Okay.
The next thing is ain't shvius mishamatati, that even if Shemitah comes by and then the Shemitah, the loans are canceled. So here I lent $1,000 and now even if Shemitah comes, I should cancel the loan. No, the loan is not canceled. Since we have such an agreement of how to get paid back, so the loan is not canceled. And the explanation, why is the loan not canceled? Like every loan. Every loan is canceled at the end of Shemitah, right? That's why I write a principle. He didn't write a principle. But the loan is not canceled.
The loan is not canceled, but also the I don't know what happens to the produce here. There's no Trumas in my sister in Shmita. Or is this from the 6th year? There's no Trumas in Meister, so how's he going to get his money back?
So then talk about the 8th year. It made up for the 8th year that I'll get paid back.
Okay, and so he's
And
going to get paid. But why
when
didn't it?
Shemitah comes, it should cancel. It doesn't
Okay.
cancel. What if let's say the Balabayas wants to retract from the deal? He says, no, I don't want this deal. You should give me back $1,000. I made an agreement to take it off from the Trumas and Maestros, but I want to retract. I want you to pay me money. So he can't. And he can't retract from the deal. Once he made a deal, he can't retract from the deal. He can't tell the Kohen, I want money back. No, we made up already, you're going to take the Trumas and Maestros. If for some reason the Malva, the owner here means about the one who lent the money, he gave up on being able to collect. Rashi says the case was that they made up this year's produce, and this year's produce, there was a flood or something like that, or some kind of they didn't produce. And he says, I lost my loan. I made up to get paid from this year's crop, and this year's crop is a disaster. So he can't, then it wasn't a disaster, and then they did produce. Is he still eligible to get the Trumas and Maestros? He can't now take Trumas and Maestros back for his loan. Because you can't take back Trumas and Maestros for something which you thought was lost. And the Gemara is going to say something about Yush. Someone owed you money. The simple words of the Gemara would mean that if someone owed you money, the same way if you lost something. Everybody knows Yush from Bava Metzia, that if you lost something and you were Miyanish, you lost hope that you're ever going to get it back. So it's disowned. Yush is the Hefker, whatever the case is. But if you gave up hope, so then you lose ownership. So here, if somebody owes you money and you lose hope of ever getting paid back, the Gemara seems to say that he doesn't owe you anymore. And therefore,
he gave up hope
from getting paid back this loan.
And then ein mafrish.
So-
then he can't, then if
He
there's
can't get paid back because he has no right to collect. So if it
from
doesn't
something
belong
that
to
he
him,
lost, once he gave up,
Once
hope,
he-
he lost it.
once he gave up hope, he lost it, then the person doesn't owe him money anymore. And
And even if it turned out to be a big problem,
company can't collect on it.
or if he should, no, okay. You're saying he gave up hope because it was a bad year,
As an example, yeah.
but then he
Then
thought
it
it would be a
turned-
bad year.
And
but
then it turned out good. A nice happened, miracle happened, good weather, whatever happened, and it turned out a
So
good
that
crop. He
shows that
lost
we
it
should
already.
never give up.
Okay. Okay. Not a Gemara, so we did a lot of chidushim over here. Not a Gemara is going to go through all of them and elaborate on each one. So we're gonna we'll highlight each title. Posting Imam Kishamazol. The first halacha was that he can make up to get the cheap price, which is going to be at the time when the produce is
Yeah, I thought.
Produced.
She did.
so pshita. This was like Yaakov's kasha. Why not? If that's what the price is going to be when
Could you just review what the case is and what?
he lent money in what time? When is the season? When is the thing? When the things grow? What's that?
They grow
You
at
don't
the
know
beginning of the
these things?
summer and at Sukkot, you're gonna harvest. So
Okay, so he made up in
Yeah.
Nissan, whatever. Siva now. He made up Siva now. That when I don't know the dates. Okay,
The grapes are in the summer. The grapes ripen in the summer.
okay.
so
So he
I'm giving
made
you
up.
$1,000.
I guess that's now in the winter. He told him that it's $1,000 right now. That's very expensive right now in the winter. But he made up that I'm gonna take back the $1,000 according to the summer price, which is cheap. So you're allowed to do that. It's not considered.
Meaning,
Right now, $1,000 would get you. Let's talk without any dates. Right now, $1,000 gets you 100 kilo. I'm making up that the price back is not now 100 kilo. I want to know what the price is going to be when I collect, when it's produced. Then it's going to be.
Let's just say.
Right, yes. So you're allowed to do that. You're allowed to say that I'm taking back the money according to the market, the cheaper market price, and that's going to get me more money, more produce. I'm going to get paid more. You're allowed to do that.
He lends him money or lends grapes?
He lends him money.
Says I'm lending money, and I'm gonna ask that
To
I
get paid back
get
for-
200 kilo, 200.
No, he doesn't say. He
the-
says the
At the price.
price at the time when it's going to grow, which is going to be a cheap price, and it's better for him, better for me to get the cheaper market price than the expensive market
He's
price.
getting back money.
He's getting back the produce. He's
He's
lending
lending
money.
him money and getting back produce.
Yes, that's the case, right? That was the whole case.
So he's really getting a very good deal.
Yes,
He's,
he's allowed to do that.
he's paying now $1,000 and then you get 200 kilo of grapes instead of 100
Which at the
kilo.
time, later on, is going to be $1,000 worth of grapes. Right now, it's much more expensive. Right now, you get less than all that.
And
So
I'm
you
saying
like
it's not a good deal, it's not a better deal, it's pshita. Because the whole point of the loan was for then, you're gonna pay back the loan. You're gonna owe me money until then, and then it's gonna be worth 200 kilo. So you owed money until the 200 kilo, and now then you won't owe me any money anymore. So they're-
but smart man like you, it's pshuta. Okay.
So the Gemara says, even if they didn't speak it out, it's unspoken. Unspoken word is understood that that's what he meant, even if he didn't say so. That's a chiddush. If they spoke it out, then it's simple. But even it's unspoken word, it's also effective. The next halacha says in the Brisa
Because
was,
we might think that he might be taking the,
if they didn't say so, that goes according to the price of now. No, it's understood that goes according to the price that's going to be.
okay.
The next chiddush is Avrohom rivers, which just explains that's another chiddush. He made a cheaper price than the market price at the time. He's all arguing that. Why is it not rivers? My time. That rivers is only this kind of rivers, which is not rice rivers. So it only is if it's definitely going to come in the extra rivers. But it could be there's a chance that the whole field is the crop is not going to be successful. Won't get anything. So it's not rivers. Rivers is only going to be definitely is going to come back. But if there's a chance it might lose the whole thing, then it's not us. They say it's rivers drop over here.
Okay.
Next thing it says is that even if the end of Shemitah appears by and usually nullified all loans, this doesn't get nullified. Why not? Because the pasuk which says which means don't press the bottom pay back. That's the says by Shvius. By Shvius says don't press him to pay back. So that's the only use not to press him. But here he doesn't have to press him. I have it in my backyard. I don't have to press go to the lot. So the issue of shvius is the law is still valid. Just that the Allah is that your lender is not allowed to press the borrower. So I'm not pressing him, but it's in my backyard. I have to press him.
Logius is part of the pasuk.
That's the pasuk. Well, he goes says Re'eu, that's achiv ki kavash mita. Don't press him to pay back.
Okay.
The next thing it says in this was Allah zo Eino Jose. If he wants to retract, he can't. They made the deal. And then I said, for instance, because let's say he said about back instead of produce with this agreement, I want to have money back. He can't. The Kohen, the Levi, the Ani could say no. Made up a deal already. I'm Papa Lo Shana Bala buys for Kohen. Only the Bala buys cannot retract. Avo Kohen. What if the Kohen says, I want to give you money? I don't want it to be paid off of my Tumas and Meiser, that every kilo I got. I want to be able to get Tumas. I want to be able to. I don't know why he wants to retract.
He wants to pay back.
Pay back. Why is I don't know why he wants to, but whatever. So the doctor wants to pay back. What's wrong? Okay, whatever the reason is, I don't know why he wants to pay back.
But he has a lot of people in his house who want to take Truma.
He could take. The Baal doesn't have to give it to him.
According to the it's the bond for giving money.
Oh, he doesn't.
Okay, so the Kohen wants to retract. They wants to back cash. So in Baal Lachza he could retract, even though it says he cannot retract. That's only going to Baal Bayis cannot retract. The Malva cannot retract. The Lova could retract. Why?
Yeah. Why?
It cannot. That it's not. There was no real. That means that Rashi explains in the case of the Balba being retracting the money. The Loba has the money. He has the money. There's no Mashiach to do. There's no Mashiach to do. So he doesn't have to give it. He doesn't have to pay back the money. But here,
Wait, there's no Mashiach on what?
on anything, the case of the Balabais being Jose, and before the Gemara's words about Mashiach, the Balabais, the reason he cannot be Jose is because the Loba, the Kohen, Levi, Ani, he says, you gave me the money, I have the money. There's nothing missing that I still didn't do, that you do, that I didn't do. So the deal was that you take the Trumas and Meisos, take Trumas and Meisos.
Yeah.
The other way, if the Kohen holds the bow, how does it work? How does the whole lumdus work? That Chachamim said, whatever the reason was before, we said the Mazak al Acher or Makore Kahuna or Asu Shana Zocha Kazocha. Chazal, for whatever reason, they gave the Kanas Chachamim made that it's as if the Kohen made a kinyan on it, and he gives it back to the Balabais. But there was no real kinyan. There wasn't a real kinyan. So he could say, I don't want. The Kohen could say that I don't want to get the schus of owning that tua, and then you take it back as a payment. I don't want it. So he has the right to say I don't want. The only way that the Balabais is eligible to take Tumas and Maasros back is because it's as if
he can relinquish the schus.
Right. And therefore, I never owned it, so therefore you can't take it back to me. You never gave it to me. So you say, if I wanted, I could have received it. You get, but I don't want. So I don't have to receive it. We don't have to receive it. If you don't receive it, so then the Balabai is not eligible to take it.
But even with that lumdus, couldn't you just say, I don't want to wait any longer and be obligated. I have $1,000 and I want to pay it back and get done. Why can't you pay them $1,000 without any lumdus?
He wants
Because
to keep the Trumas. Maybe for whatever reason, the Balabais wants to. If you say that the Balabai says, I want to be, I have a schus to take the Trumas and Meisos. My field has top grade wheat, and for some reason I need wheat this year. It's a famine coming. I don't want money. I want wheat, and I have a schus because we made up such a deal. I want to get the wheat. So does the Balabais have such a schus?
Okay.
So he says no. According to say, the next case it says the 2000 shouldn't be.
But in any loan, when it's money, can't the guy pay off early? Or not?
Maybe that's included in what the Gemara says. Maybe that's what the Gemara also includes, that you didn't get it yet. But I hear you're asking a question I don't already answer. That maybe what? But why is the Balabais? That's why he wants to pay, but and it says he could. So why is it cheated that he could? Not so cheated. The Balabais says I want, and you have to explain why the Balabais says no supposed to keep his agreement. Okay. Next case, it says now I love that we explained according to Rashi that if something happened to the field and it looks really bad, and the guy said, "Wow, I'm not going to. I lost the loan because the whole agreement was to get this year's crop." So even if the crop did revive, he has no right to take it anymore because the loan is canceled, because he had years, and therefore he has no right to take Trumas and Maasros. Pshita, the Gemara says, and it's also Pshita. You're supposed to know that what's real Akun. Rashi says the case of Akun is that it got dried up. Is that true? Akun means at the time that it was dried up and it looked bad, it already was olubakana. Akun means that it started, the stalk started growing.
Which
Now
means
the
there
time
won't
Akun
be any-
knows
there
who,
won't be
the
any seeds,
Misha'alu.
there won't be any fruit. If it starts growing, it means there won't be any.
No, the
fruit.
other way, that it looks like it is going to grow. What does it say? The Misha'alu. Kana, Emis Yapshem, Hozimum Mutakmi. Or Mills of Losh Chicha, he shayim was calculated Lagami. The law of the Yishmael. You might think that it's not years. You might think that if it came to the stage of having a stalk already, then it's not really years. Even though he says, wow, I lost the crop, but it's already pretty advanced. And it's not called the years. That's also called the years. And therefore, he cannot collect anymore because he gave up on it. The Pasha of the Gemara seems to say that if somebody owes you money and you have, when Miyash from getting it back, you have no source to collect anymore.
That's a
And
big problem.
it's a big problem. And I saw that,
Big problem to what?
is that true? That someone didn't pay it back, whatever the case will be. I'm waiting already 10 years to get paid back. And I say, forget it, I'm never going to get paid back. And
Then
then,
you don't know.
then he comes to pay back. So you have to say that you don't owe me because I was Miyash already. So I just noticed in our scroll, they bring down Exos and Gary Shirachim that talk about this, maybe only over here by the Trumas and Maasros, maybe by regular case, even though you lost hope of getting paid back, maybe he still has a mitzvah to pay back still.
No, you like, if you have the mix to pay back, but you have a chiyuv. You like to pay him. Let's say he got wealthy. He started, he
won the
got it, he got Yerusha. Okay, so yeah, after 10 years, he got Yerusha. Now you allowed to be Tevein. He has a mitzvah to pay back, but am I allowed to be Tevein?
Maybe the mitzvah to pay back includes that I'm allowed to pay him to do his mitzvah maybe. I didn't see it inside, just the Askel quoted a Sos and that says that he doesn't have to pay back and Gary Shirachim, that seemed to be. New Gemara,
To
tell
bury
me.
him would be to knock on his
If I
door.
remember right, that's the
Want to
thing
take
in
the back?
Shnat Shviyas,
Tevein means
that he didn't take it
So
for
you're
all,
right.
they passed the year.
Pursue.
And
Pursue, yeah, that's
the
right.
person can't claim his claim, but it's permissible
Sue it,
for
going to paste it. I thought he was gonna
land.
call him up or knock on the
The
door.
borrower
Hi,
sues
so I
to
heard
pay
you
back.
got a windfall. Here I am.
Correct, I think I remember that.
Okay, see you in court.
Three lines
Got
up.
it.
Tanya, Rav Elazar ben Yaakov Omer, Amal b'Moses HaKohen b'As HaLevi b'Bezdin. Back to the Mishnah. The Mishnah says that if it was in Bezdin, even if they died,
It's okay.
Bezdin, they say you could collect because Bezdin takes care of the whole system of Kohen, Levi, and the Ani, and therefore you're allowed to collect from the Trumas and Maasros because Bezdin gave it to you that they're representing all of the Mishpacha.
I have to leave early today. I'm
Okay.
sorry.
Call them, have a good Shabbos, and it's like,
I'm gonna leave the house at 6:45.
7? What time is it?
I think 7:30, 7:15. Okay, parking at 7, 6:45. Parking lot 6:45.
safe trip.
Shah Tova.
Sounds
The parking lot.
I have room in the car, 6:47. Okay, sounds good.
Mafish Alein b'Cheskas Hosa Shevet. That's what the Mishnah said, that the Shevet, the Shevet received it. This person died. So Bezdin says the Shevet received it, and we allow you to take it from the Shevet. So you can collect the particular loan that was owed to you from the whole Shevet. And as only Bezdin Umeis, Mafish Alein b'Cheskas Ani Yisrael. The same thing if you lend to a poor man, and then the poor man died, you're allowed to take it from the Trumas, from the Meiser Ani that you're separating, because Bezdin takes it on behalf of all the Aniyim, as if all the Aniyim have a schus to the Meiser Ani, and now Bezdin says you may take it from all the Aniyim. Which we said, that's the pshat, kind of everyone's happy with it, they should have such a system of borrowing money. Not only Ani Yisrael, Ani Olam. What does that mean? More than the Jews? Who's more than the Jews? The Goyim. They don't have any Meiser Ani. My Benayu, on the day, think Benayu, Ani Krutim. That the Krutim, the Shamronim, that question if they're Jewish or not, and this kind of holds that they are Jewish. And therefore, you'd be allowed to take, even if there are no Jewish Aniyim in the city. Places explains that this only works for if there are Aniyim in that city. If there are no Aniyim in that city, So Bezdin doesn't make things that the aniyim in the other cities are going to accept it and give it to you for that one. So in this city, there's no other aniyim. If there's no aniyim at all, it doesn't work. But if there are aniyei kusim, is that good enough? Means aniyei kusim, are they eligible to get ma'aser money? Depends if they're Jewish or not. So the focus is if they're considered Jewish. That's why one says aniyei Yisrael dafka, not kutim. The other one says even if they're aniyei kutim, they're also eligible for ma'aser money, and therefore you can take the loan because they're aniyei kutim who are getting the ma'aser money and giving it back, and Bezdin's taking it from them and giving it to you. It says in the Brisa, or it says in the Brisa, right? Brisa? This is only the Brisa. Oh, this is Brisa talking over here. What if the Ani became rich? The Mishnah spoke about if he died, and it says you're not choshesh that he became rich. What if he did become rich? He's alive and rich. So he's not eligible for ma'aser money anymore. Before we said if he died, he's not eligible for ma'aser money either. But the Bezdin takes it from the shaver and gives and says you can use it for the loan. So how about if the Ani became rich? You say also, even though he's not eligible, but the shaver will pay back the loan that he had borrowed when he was poor. Ein ma'afashallah. You're not allowed to anymore. You can't use that for your payment. So who pays the loan? Nobody pays the loan. Zachallah, the Mashav the Lover, who was poor and became rich, besides becoming rich, he also doesn't have to pay back the loan. The Malva says, you're rich, pay me back the loan. No, we made up that you can take from the ma'aser money. But I can't take from the ma'aser money because you became rich. Okay, so that was the deal. You lost the deal. Rabbanan Maishnal Lamisa, that's the end of the Brisa. Rabbanan Maishnal Lamisa, love with the counter, Maishnal Hashu is the love with the counter. How come they made up the counter that if the man dies, so then the whole shaper will pay for him? How come they don't make up the counter? If the man becomes rich, the whole shaper will pay for him? I would have said maybe he should answer his question because the Aniyim are not masking. It's not for the takana of the Aniyim. They're masking that they should pay back in case they get rich. If he gets rich, let him pay back, let him pay himself. If he has money to pay back his loan, why do you have to make a takana for him? But the Gemara doesn't say that. The Gemara says, Misa shchicha, shiras lo shchicha. It's usual to die, but it's not usual for a poor man to become rich. So therefore they didn't make an account for such a thing. Also, it could be that Aniyim don't need that backup, that we want to be able to borrow money and make them das because they're not fortunate they're going to become rich, that the person will take that into consideration. This is how the saying goes, the expression goes, asher, is asher, lo asher. If someone tells you your friend died, believe him. But if they told that your friend became rich, don't believe him. It's a play on words. It's asher with the ayin, asher with the aleph. It's asher means he became rich. Asher means to affirm it. Means if they say that your friend died, affirm it. They said your friend became rich, don't affirm it. Don't believe that it became rich. It says that you have to get rishus from the Yorshim to be able to collect on their cheshbon. Means the case of the Bezdin only works if he lent the money in front of Bezdin. But if he didn't lend the money in front of Bezdin, it's only a personal deal. Bezdin doesn't step in, only if they were invited. So if the man, you have to ask the Yorshim if they accept, the deal should continue, and they'll get them as if they will pay the Chumas and Maisris, and then the man is taking it back for his loan, but only if they agree. Tani Rabbi Yomer Yorshin Sheyoshin. He puts in one word. It says in the Mishnah, Meis Sochtit Mishus Ben Yorshin. But Rabbi adds on, Meis Sochtit Mishus Ben Yorshin Sheyorshin. He puts an extra word. He has to get Mishus from the Yorshin that inherited. So what does it mean? Umiyik Yorshin Below Yarsi. That's what the Yorshin means. What does it mean Yorshin Sheyorshin? Only if they inherited land, not if they inherited money. So how does it go over there? What's the difference if it can't land the money? Because the Yoshim only mechuv to pay the loan of their father from the Nechasim Mishubad, only if there's karka, the real estate. They don't have to pay back the loan of their father if they only Yoshim the Talmud. Even if they have a lot of money, but they don't have to pay back the chov of their father only if it's Nechasim Sheish Lamak Price, only if it's Nechasim Mishubad. So if they have to pay back the loan of their father, so then what? Then you have to ask them Mishus and what? And if they're masking, you could collect it from them. And if they're not masking, what?
They're not asking them to collect karka?
But if they collected something. So Taisus here has a problem. This is the problem in the Gemara. What does it read to well? What's the difference? What's the difference if they want to pay back? They want to pay back. It just says in the case of Bezdin. Taisvis over here, that's the point of the Taisvis. A safer coin. In the case where it wasn't from the Bezdin, you don't have to ask Rishus from the Yoshim. So then, and that the Gemara says,
Huh.
Dafka.
Because now they're mechuyev. Now they're mechuyev, so doing them a favor by collecting.
So again, in Ilva between Bezdin and Self Rishus from the Yoshim. So what does it say? But Yoshim she Yoshu Karka.
Now they're mechuyev to pay back.
Bezdin is stepping in on the behalf of all the Shavit, no? When Bezdin steps in, so that has nothing to do with the family. That has to do with the world.
That's the steps in, but they're only gonna step in if it's kind of step to pay back. They don't have to pay back, and then nobody's gonna step in and push it pay back.
If no one has to pay, if they don't have to pay back, if the poor man died.
And
When does
the
Bezdin
account
step in?
So the Yoshim don't have to pay back.
So then he lost. He lent money and there's nobody to pay back. So he lost. I'm not going to step in. But if they are Yoshim that I have to pay back, so then you have to ask them how they want to pay back. But if it would be that the loan is off because they're not going to pay back, so then what? Again, if there's Yoshik suffering, I'm not sure. I'm not getting it still. Maybe I'm just not thinking. I'm not getting it. How do you read it? If it was Yoshu Karka, so then Ein Sof people just Mina Yoshim, because Bezdin will take over. But Yoshu Ksofim, it doesn't help. Then it doesn't help to take Rishus from the Yoshim.
They don't need it.
You don't need Rishus. What does it say? The Mishnah says that if he lent in front of Bezdin, you don't have to get Rishus from the Yoshim. Yoshu Karka. I have to go back. I have to come back to tomorrow for this. I don't know.
Okay, 12, 15 tomorrow.
Question is if we should do a little bit more. If we can skip till the 2 dots, and I'll start just having Tanur Rabbana, the more afterwards is a bit easier. Tanur Rabbana. Yisrael Shamal Levi, my Seish Lacha B'Yadi. Yisrael tells a Levi that I have produced, that's my say, I'm giving it to you. But he didn't tell him how much. So Ein Choshen L'Chumas Ma'aser Shabbat. And surely the Levi, since he doesn't know how much it is, he didn't make it into Chumas Ma'aser. It means this is going to be that if you say that I'm giving you Ma'aser, but it's still by me. The Yisrael has Ma'aser in his silo. And he told the Levi, I'm giving it to you. So now the Levi might say, "Oh, I have Ma'aser. I also have Ma'aser in my backyard. So I'll use that Ma'aser to be Chumas Ma'aser." It wasn't related on to Minamukaf, but let's say the Levi might have used the opportunity to use all this Ma'aser to make it Chumas Ma'aser. And now the Yisrael, who has it in his backyard, who has it in his silo, he might say, "I'll pay money and take it myself." So that's a problem. Once it's Chumas Ma'aser, then it's holy. Ma'aser, everyone's allowed to eat. Chumas Ma'aser becomes like Truma. So that's the question. Are you choshish that the Levi made the Ma'aser to become Chumas Ma'aser once you told him that it's his? So if you told him how much money, how much there is, how much volume there is, so he might have used it. But if you didn't tell him, he doesn't know. She's not going to make a Chumas Ma'aser. That's the Yisod in his Gemara. Yisrael told the Levi that I have Ma'aser for you, and it's yours. Ain't choshish in the Chumas Ma'aser. Shaloi not choshish that it became Chumas Ma'aser, that the Levi made it Chumas Ma'aser, because he doesn't know how much it is. So he wouldn't have done. But for Ma'aser Yesh L'Chav, he told him how much. He told him an amount, how much Ma'aser there is. Choshish in the Chumas Ma'aser Shabo. You are choshish that the Levi made it into Chumas Ma'aser, and you can't use it. Now, of course, you can't use it without paying for it. It belongs to the Levi, but you might have bought it. Like it says, my kama. What is he talking about? I'm Rabbi Kama. Yisrael Shem the Levi. My Seish L'Chav B'Yadi. Hey, look, I want to pay for it. Means there's Ma'aser that I have to give to a Levi. I'll give it to you and make a kinyan, and I'll buy it from you. So Ein Choshish Shem Ma'aser Chumas Ma'aser Mokamach. You're not Choshish that he made it into Chumas Ma'aser and now became Ma'aser for you to eat because you didn't tell him how much it is. But for Ma'aser Yesh L'Chav B'Yadi, if you told the Levi how much Ma'aser he's giving him a core, and he wants to buy it. Then you are choshish that the Levi made it into Chumas Ma'aser because he knows how much it is. But the Gemara says, what is talking about? He takes money and makes it into Chumas Ma'aser. I'm talking about like Russia. The Shachli Dmei Umash like Chumas Ma'aser. They take money and they're going to make it into Chumas Ma'aser and not tell and not tell the Levi that he made that he saw that he made it into Tumas Meiser, he's going to eat Tumas Meiser. This is the case. Yisrael Shalom the Ben Levi, not to the Levi, to the Ben Levi. He tells to the son of a Levi, I gave Meiser to your father. I didn't give it to him yet, but I gave it to him in his lifetime. Meiser lebicha b'yadi. I have Meiser that I had given to your father and still by me. Heilach dama. I want to buy it from you. So I choshesh that the father made it into Chumas Meiser. That you don't know. That the Levi, the son doesn't know anything about it. Maybe the father, without telling the Yisrael, once he heard that he's being given a present of Meiser, maybe made it into Chumas Meiser. So ein choshesh because he doesn't know that's not much it was. Ein choshesh shema so.
The Mav means he wants to buy it back.
He wants to buy it
Gives
back.
it to him and he wants to buy it.
Right. So he says, I gave it to your father. The father was nifter already, but in your father's lifetime, I gave it to him. I told him that he has Meiser. And now that he died and you yashin it, I want to buy it from you. So the question is, was the choshesh that the father made it into Chumas Meiser? So if he didn't know how much it was, he didn't. But if he knew how much it was, then you are choshesh.
That made the whole thing.
The whole thing Chumas Meiser. He had another nine such. He gave him he had a bushel, and he had another 9 bushels of Meiser. So maybe he made this whole bushel to be Chumas Meiser, and he expected when he's going to come collect it, he'll take it, give it to the Kohen. So yeah, choshesh because he didn't say a bushel. He don't know how much he has, but if he knew how much he has, maybe he made it to be Chumas Meiser. If you told him an amount, I told your father an amount that he has by me, then you are choshesh made it to Chumas Meiser. But then okay, we'll stop here. This is now a question: how can you make Chumas Meiser if it's not there? This is been a mukaf. You're only supposed to take off Chumas and Meiser. Chumas and Meiser is from something which is next to it. You're not supposed to take off from one place. Chumas and Meiser on something which is far away. So that's next tomorrow. So you have to go back to fill in the space over there. I've listened. Should be Mazel Tov and a Simon Tov and everything should go b'simcha v'tov leilo. They go cool.
Call it.